Great. Well, thanks everyone for the shuffle, your patience for the shuffle and schedule while we had some technical issues we figured out. We're all here now. I'm Mark Myers. I oversee our customer relationships here at iSpot. iSpot helps advertisers measure the brand and business impact of all formats of TV and video advertising, including linear, addressable, OTT, and CTV. We provide fast, accurate, and actionable measurement and attribution solutions that enable advertisers to assess creative effectiveness, enhance media plans, and attribute advertising results for cross-platform campaigns, all while benchmarking against the competition and historical norms. iSpot and Wayfair have worked closely together over the last 5 years in Wayfair's journey to modernize their approach to TV and video advertising and measurement. And to tell the audience more about Wayfair's measurement journey, I'm joined today by Lana Koretsky, Director of TV and Online Video Marketing at Wayfair. Hello, Lana.
Hey, Mark.
Can we get started by telling the audience a bit about your role in TV advertising measurement at Wayfair?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I lead global TV and online video marketing at Wayfair and started at Wayfair about 5 years ago, originally leading online video, which in our world encompasses YouTube, connected TV, streaming, and pre-roll, as well as native video bought through ad exchanges. As the landscape has evolved and the gray space between linear and digital has grown, we decided to combine our linear TV and online video channels to really better enable a shift to unification of our platforms and measurement across both. From a strategy standpoint, we think about TV as both a brand channel and a direct response driver. So in evaluating performance, we really lean heavily on data around the efficiency of our spend and driving revenue to gauge success. And that's, iSpot has helped us to do that quite a bit.
That's a great overview and background. I'm interested in your current approach to TV buying and measurement and how that has evolved over time. Can you walk us through maybe the strategy, what it looked like a couple of years ago compared to today, and where you'd like to take it going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say the underlying North Star and philosophy has very much remained the same in how we buy, which is really achieving strong ROI alongside brand awareness and preference over time. But the how has changed somewhat. So one example is, really one of the most important changes we've made to our approach is bringing TV fully in-house versus relying on agencies back in 2014. In fact, we call our TV channel team the Wagency internally. We essentially run all of our campaigns in-house now, from creative production to planning, buying, optimization, all the way through to our measurement and attribution modeling. And this really enables us to have a tight feedback loop and pivot quickly to take advantage of efficiencies or pull back when we see pockets of inefficiency. Another change we've made is looking at TV performance over longer periods of time versus expecting immediate response. And this is something iSpot's data is helping us do. And this really helps us understand the longer term impact of TV and level the playing field between, say, creatives we put out there that are more promotional versus those that achieve our brand building goals, but don't necessarily drive that immediate site visit.
Yeah, that makes sense. The topic of this session is proving TV's true value. With all the marketing channels available today, how do you think TV impacts the lifetime value of the Wayfair customer? And how are you able to justify and optimize large TV investments?
Absolutely. Yeah. TV is such a core part of what we do. And we really consider it our megaphone to reach a mass audience at scale with our top priority brand messages. As some of you may know, Wayfair is now a household name with over 80% awareness. And we credit much of this to our strong investment in TV from the early days of our brand. The way that we justify our investment is through really strong measurement, where we seek to truly isolate the incrementality of our TV advertising versus all of our other channels. We use a number of proprietary models to do this. One is we use spike visits. We look at visits that occur within minutes of an ad airing. Another way we do this is through our multi-touch attribution model that identifies individuals that are likely to have been TV influenced, looks at the other ads that they engaged with, and then assigns a value to the TV impression based on similar sequences that we've seen in the past, and really aggregating all of that data to understand TV's value among those sequences. We also leverage iSpot individual user level data, and we use this to build synthetic control groups and then identify the lift in revenue associated with customers who saw our ads. We're then able to cut that by network and creative to drive our granular decisioning as well. I mentioned that I come from a digital video background, and what's exciting about this data set is that it really empowers us to manage our linear TV buys and channel decisioning more similarly to digital.
Yeah, I love that comment. In fact, an iSpot rallying cry for years has been measuring TV in a digital-like way and bringing similar metrics and from linear to OTT to the digital world. So I love that approach. I think we see very much eye to eye in that area. So you talked about MTA and you're doing a lot in-house. Can you tell us a bit more about the MTA modeling and maybe what it was like to take that in-house?
Yeah. So we do all of our MTA modeling in-house, as you mentioned. And we really, it took us about 2 years of investment with our data science team to build that model, which has been incredibly valuable for us and well worth it. The funny story, I mentioned Wagency. We like to name things a lot. And our in-house model is called Themis, after the Greek god of fairness, which is fun. So, but what it's really meant to do is make sure that we understand for all of our channels, not just TV, what additional value over the top that channel is providing that we wouldn't have seen had we not run that channel.
That makes a lot of sense. I know that Way Day is a major campaign for you every year. I've got a little visual here to kind of play in the background for people. But can you tell us a bit more about that event and how you leverage TV as a part of that campaign and how you use attribution to measure and improve performance around Way Day?
Yeah, absolutely. So Way Day is our annual 2-day sale event with Black Friday level deals on much of our product catalog. During the lead up to Way Day and during the sale itself, we lean heavily on TV as again, that megaphone to drive awareness of the sale and have consistently seen strong performance. During the lead up, our analysts are constantly looking at direct response performance data down to the network, day part, and creative level to ensure that we're optimizing for the strongest performing placements and really positioning ourselves for success on the days of the sale themselves. But this is actually not all that different from our optimization approach, not just for promotional periods, but regularly for all of our placements to ensure we're getting the best return.
Way Day measurement every day of the year, right?
Indeed.
I like it. Can you share any other examples of how you've been able to optimize TV ads using data and analytics you have today?
Sure, yeah. So one example is the way we think about creative testing. We'll regularly put multiple versions of an ad into the market to gauge direct response performance and identify best practices for future ads. When we do this, we aim to control as much as possible for things like a network, day part mix, share of voice, and we really try to launch these ads simultaneously to ensure seasonality doesn't drive differences in the outcomes. We're then able to look at the lift we see from each version and determine a winner. And then sometimes when we want to go deeper and really understand the why behind, which creative won, we'll do some consumer insights post-testing. But I mentioned this example because it differs somewhat from other advertisers who rely more heavily on pre-testing ads before putting them into the market. What we like about our approach is it really allows us to expedite testing in market and sort of see how things perform directly, really get that feedback loop quite quickly, and then subsequently drive creative enhancements and innovation pretty fast after we see that performance directly in market.
Yeah. Okay, great. So last question, which is I think will be particularly interesting and helpful for today's audience. What's your advice for marketers trying to set higher standards within their organization to become more data-driven?
Yeah, I'd say progress over perfection. TV measurement is incredibly challenging and imperfect, especially as the linear and digital worlds start to intersect more and more. And even previously well understood metrics like reach and frequency become challenged by things like cross-screen behavior. measurement will always be an evolution. And if you're like us at Wayfair and want to build it in-house, I think starting with a vision and a minimum viable product is a great way to do it. That's how we did it. And then really continually identifying the blind spots and being self-critical and improving on it over time. I'll also say that wherever you are on the journey, whether you do it in-house or don't, and how much of it you have built, there are probably opportunities to push for better data quality, faster feedback loops, or deeper granularity in the data that you're working with. And all of these factors will significantly improve the actionability of the analytics you get and the resulting return on your ad dollars.
Okay, that's awesome. We're just about out of time. Let me provide a couple summarizing thoughts I think were particularly pertinent from your comments, which are industry leading. Measurement is an evolution. This idea of focus on progress versus perfection, I think is so important. No model is going to be correct right away out of the gate, and there's a journey or evolution that we need to be on. Review and explore multiple attribution models, even simultaneously. That's A-OK. Accurate data inputs are critical for accurate measurement and attribution. And using more modern measurement techniques and data, TV and digital video can be measured together in a similar model. And maybe sort of as the Uber point, TV is an optimizable medium. Your example of A/B testing creative in a live environment is a great example of how you use data and best practices to optimize your campaigns. And if any marketers are not currently optimizing creatives or even within network families on the media side, now is a great time to start. Lana, I want to thank you very much for your insights today, as well as your partnership.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark.
And if anyone in the audience would like to discuss measuring their brand building or their business impact, I'd be happy to chat with you directly. I've got my email address on the screen here. Hopefully that's going to come up. You can send me an email directly at mark@ispot.tv, and I'd be happy to chat with you one-on-one anytime. Thanks again, Lana, and thank you, everyone.
Thanks.